You are probably already thinking about leaving this video and clicking on something else, and I get it. You don't want to be here. But if you made it to a video on how to not be a victim anymore, you're probably not here by accident. So I'd pause for just one moment. Bear with me. Here's an opportunity for you to stop negotiating. Because if you're negotiating on not watching this video, then you're probably negotiating elsewhere in your life. And what you're about to walk away from is your insurance policy on taking the power back in your life, taking responsibility for it, and not being a victim anymore. And I get it though. Sometimes those thoughts come up and you don't want to do certain things. Like, straight up, I didn't want to record this video today. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well then Aaron, why'd you record this video today? And I thought you loved recording these videos. Now all of a sudden something's changed? No, absolutely nothing has changed. I got a full night's sleep after an amazing weekend. I went to the gym, finished 7 days worth of meal prep. I've executed on every meal I was supposed to eat for the day. The house is cleaned and it's gorgeous outside today, and I'm about an hour ahead of schedule, and I'm gonna finish the evening out in the presence of a lovely woman in front of the fireplace as it gets cooler later tonight. It's literally a perfect day, and my brain said, man, we don't really want to record that video today though. And that's the importance of these practices. That's the importance of the repetition and the intensity. Some days I wake up and I don't necessarily want to go straight to the gym, but I do it anyway because it doesn't really matter, because I know I'll feel better afterwards. Some mornings I wake up and I'm not exactly hungry yet, but I know as soon as that meal hits my stomach, I'm going to feel better about myself. It's going to be all those small wins that I stack throughout the day that are my insurance to no longer being a victim and to taking responsibility in my life. When you've got that many wins stacked throughout the day, it's literally impossible to even think about becoming a victim. There may be things you don't want to do, but listen to how many wins I just rattled off. So let's get to the point here, right? If you're still sticking around, it's not because I want the likes. It's not because I want the views. It's not because of the algorithm or anything like that. I know for a fact nobody makes it to videos like this by accident. You don't. So you've got an opportunity to be gut-wrenching honest with yourself. So in the first part of this, we talked about healing, all of the things that we needed to heal so that we could become the man that we always needed and find that man and just becoming ourselves. And so now we have the opportunity for the second half of that statement. Become the man you always needed, gift him to the world. So what do I mean by gift him to the world? Let's start by unpacking what a gift is. Another word for gift is a present. What's a word that sounds real similar to present? Presence. You're going to be a lot more present once you heal all of those things in your world. All of those things inside of you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You're just going to be so much more present. And that's going to allow you to show up as a completely different person. You're not going to be taking those wounds into your dynamics with your child, with your significant other, with your employer, with your clients, with your friends. And because you're not taking those wounds, you're not taking those injuries into those relationships are built on more genuineness, more authenticity, rather than treating something inside of you. Look back at your relationships with women. I bet you start to see some patterns, and I bet you start to see how many of them you entered. And you may not have noticed it at the time, and you may not even be able to see it just yet. But I bet if you look, you entered into a number of them secretly to get something or heal something, rather than to just show up as the best version of yourself and gift yourself to that woman. Same with your kiddo. Are you vicariously living through your kiddo and whatever they're doing? Are you asking and telling them to do things that you actively aren't doing yourself and may never do because you've not addressed that in you? Are you able to show up as a present parent and model the behavior that you would love to see, to model the behavior that you needed modeled to you, to model the behavior that you know is going to be healthiest for them and set them up for success? Or is it the old adage of do as I say, but not as I do? This is your insurance policy as you continue to gift yourself to the people in your world. And that is the world. Your significant other, your kids, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your clients. You'll be a completely different version of yourself. And when you're in that space, when I'm in that space, it is impossible for me to become a victim. And I can guarantee you that if I ever start to slip back into maybe an older version of that, what's going to snap me out of it pretty quickly is showing up for someone else, being present for someone else. Are you actually able to listen to what your child, what your wife, what your girlfriend has to say and reflect it back to them? Or are you waiting until you hear the talking stop so that you can respond? And if you respond based on that, you're probably responding just to get some kind of unmet need met rather than showing up for them. And if you really had a need that needed to be met, you would have either found a way to meet it yourself or you would have just initiated the conversation, asking for what you wanted or asking for what you needed. You would have declared it up front rather than trying to sneak it in the middle of a conversation, completely derailing what somebody else is probably trying to say to you. Yeah. That's our insurance policy. That's how we gift ourselves to the world. And again, this is a practice. It's going to look sloppy and messy when you first start it. It may look sloppy and messy like it felt today for me, but I'm going to do this video anyway. Just like I'm going to get up and do another one tomorrow. Just like I'm going to show up for the group on Wednesday. Just like I'm going to show up tonight for the woman that I've committed to spending the evening with. Isn't that what they deserve? And isn't that what you expect from people when they show up in your world? And how can you expect other people to do things that you're not willing to do, behaviors that you're not modeling? Today's practice, become the man you always needed, gift into the world. When's the last time you practiced gifting yourself to your people, to your world? You're only as good as your last practice. I love you guys. If you're still here, I look forward to seeing you next time. For now, I'm out.